Hi, my name's Trudie, I'm a member of the iKeepR team and I'm also one of the vloggers. This week's vlog is all about direct speech, what it is and how best to teach it. This is one of a few vlogs with a particular focus on the area of grammar. This particular area is very grammar rich because it involves lots of manipulation of form and it's really easy to locate in texts. So, when do you use direct speech within your writing? When writing, there are two ways to narrate the words spoken by someone: direct speech and indirect speech, or what's also called reported speech. As both indirect and direct speech are used to tell us what someone has said, this is often called reporting, which is why you might hear it referred to for indirect speech as reported speech. Direct speech can be a little bit tricky at times because it can almost sound a bit formal. As native English users or those who are really well conversed in this language, we often naturally use our tones and idiomatic expressions when using examples of direct speech. So here's a really quick example and really easy of what direct speech looks like. She likes cats, the teacher said. Whereas for indirect speech, it would look like this. The teacher said that she likes cats. When using direct speech, we have to ensure we do a few things. So, we have to make sure the exact words of the speaker are enclosed in inverted commas, which you may also hear as speech marks. The exact words of the speaker are quoted with no change of their content or their order. The correct punctuation is used before the inverted commas, so that might be ending with a question mark, exclamation mark, or a comma. And when you finish the sentence, after the reporting clause, that's when you'll have your full stop. So there's often a reporting clause to explain either who said the speech, or sometimes the reporting clause can be extended into an adverb, a subordinate clause, or a prepositional phrase to explain more about how, where, or when the speech was said by the person. The reporting clause can either come before the speech, like this, or it might come after the spoken words, like this. So how do you teach it? Sometimes you might have to get a bit creative with this and use characters, model what's being said, but also you need to use your hands and be really active with this. One way you could use your hand is to model the placement of the inverted commas. They only hold the words being spoken. Give your buddies lots of opportunities to engage and practice this. For instance, give them a text to read where they have to find all the examples of direct speech. Then develop this further later on. You could get them to write their own examples. For instance, you could show them a picture like this, and then get them to write their own direct speech for the frogs. Also, you could show them some reported speech and then practice how to change this into direct speech. So here's a few examples. So for instance, if we said, he explained that he never ate meat, and then we would put that into direct speech using our inverted commas. I never eat meat, he explained. A really good way of checking their understanding is to have many opportunities to engage with direct speech. And normally, especially when they're learning at a higher level or they're more able, you could get them to show them a mistake and ask them if they have used all of the things they should be, if it should be direct speech. If they can identify the error, this shows that they've got a really good understanding of what it is, how to use it, and the application of it. Remember, when teaching direct speech, try to use these general rules to help the Breadies too. So let's have a look. Make sure that there's always the beginning and end by, and notating these with, inverted commas or what you might know as speech marks. Capital letters. At the beginning of all speech, there should always be a capital letter. Make sure that the punctuation is kept inside the speech mark. So you'll see here the exclamation mark is after the last word that was spoken, but enclosed within our inverted commas. If there's more than one speaker, make sure that the Bready is using the new speaker, new line rule. So every time you have someone new speaking, you start a new line. Remember, commas are really important too. So it might be like in this example with the reporting clause, there's a comma there before the speech. Or like we've mentioned before, that if there's a comma, exclamation mark or question mark, they come inside the inverted commas. And also that there's different names. As I keep using things like inverted commas, quotation marks, speech marks, you'll hear different terminology that mean the same thing. So I thought I'd give my personal top tips for teaching direct speech, but please feel free to share your own. So I always think, firstly, start off simple. Model and show direct speech using props and ask them what direct speech is so they get a better understanding of it. Only do this, obviously, the latter part, if they are able to do that, to explain it. Then build up to exploring it in different ways, finding it in texts, using it themselves. You'll then move on to ensuring the Bready becomes familiar with what makes direct speech, so applying the rules we know. I know that's direct speech because look, I can see inverted commas. Also, I'd say give them the opportunity to practice using it verbally and build up to the written practice. Again, only get to that stage if they're working at that level. Before you get onto the written part, they might need some more scaffolding, so it might mean that you use kind of fill in the blank sentences so they get used to putting in those really important parts and applying those rules that you've been talking about. For both direct and indirect speech, I always think it's good to start by defining the key parts of the sentence, because I feel that when everybody understands the different parts of the sentence, this will help them to develop a more comprehensive understanding of the concept that they're learning. Look for the reporting verb, so the part of the speech that actually quotes the dialogue that's being said, the part inside those inverted commas or in those speech marks. So in direct speech, you would have the reporting part of the speech. So this is the part that either introduces or ends a speech, like, my teacher said. It's all about using your professional judgment and adapting to the needs of your Bready, as there's no real set way to do this. If you've got some examples of things that you think worked really well, or maybe that you think didn't work so well, please share them, it'd be great to hear. So as always, I really hope this has helped, and contact a member of the team if you would like any more information. Happy teaching, guys. Bye.